Legions of soldiers have been setting themselves up to fail at marksmanship without even realizing it. The handguard has direct contact, and any forces influenced on the handguard push on the barrel itself. This target was shot by a top-level shooter with an M16A4 and an ACOG. The initial group centered in the target was shot from a magazine-supported position. You'll note that this target, the E-type silhouette, is about 4 inches wide. It scales to what a silhouette would be at about 500 yards. It's completely covering the B8 target that it's mounted to. Notice the location of all the other groups. These were all shot with the same sight setting. The initial 0 was from magazine supported. Every other group showing a different point of impact is due to different amounts of pressure being exerted on the handguard and or the barrel itself. You'll notice that as the contact moves further away from the magazine and further out towards the barrel, with the very top group being handguard supported right at the front sight assembly, the location of the point of impact gets progressively worse, progressively higher. The group that's out to the left side was shot from a sling supported position, this being a right-handed shooter that pulled pressure, pulling the barrel and thus the point of impact to the left. Well, that point of impact difference is going to depend on how hard you're putting pressure on that barrel and or that handguard versus how hard a pressure you're going to apply when you're shooting for qualification. The ideal way to mitigate this is to use a float tube. That is handguard system that is not making direct contact to the barrel itself. This has been a fixture in many kinds of competition now for several decades. For whatever reason, the Department of Defense refuses to add this refinement to our M16 M4 series. Failing that, use a technique that mitigates any extraneous pressure on the handguard and thus eliminating pressure on the barrel itself. Holding at the magazine well may not be an ideal technique, but it avoids any odd point of impact errors and thus ensures the best possible accuracy, if maybe not the best possible precision.